My best friend and I tell people just to impress them. I've seen a few pictures, so I have an idea. I'll admit, I envy some of my friends, one to whom his grandparents are more his family than his bitter single mom and faceless half-siblings could ever feel. Another with one of those Christmas, Easter, birthday relationships. He likes to call his grandpa Don Vito because he likes to pretend he has mob ties. So we call him Nicky the Wheels and we're Twinkle Toe Alex and David the Fist. Fun fact, I got that nickname because I dance when I fight. It frustrates the hell out of David, who trains MMA because he can never seem to get a hold on me. I dance because I can't fight for real. I call myself a pacifist, and there's some truth to that, but I still own a butterfly knife and have a nasty habit of kicking people in the shins. And I wonder what my grandmother would have thought of that. Would she be proud that her little Lecito tries so hard to be nonviolent, or would she sigh and shake her head the same way her daughter does? It's funny, one day when we happened to be talking about her, my mother mentioned that my grandmother had made tapes for us, for all of her grandchildren, and it made me realize how little I really knew. I can expound the entire biography of Jim Morrison, quote verbatim speeches from Durang to Shakespeare. I know all of the lyrics to R.E.M's End of the World as We Know It. But I didn't know my grandmother's name. Luz, my mother replied, perplexed as to why I was calling in the middle of the day to say, hey, I'm writing a poem about Abuelita, what is... was her name. Luz, she replied, which means light. My grandfather followed. Cause of death listed as cardiac arrest, but we know the truth, it was suicide. Death by burgers, death by soda, greasy arteries, and a lot of beer. At 60, he was told he lived to 100. 65, he buried his wife and died. At 70, his body finally followed. And the news barely hit me, because I barely knew him. And that didn't bother me until I was told that on the day of my abuelita's funeral, my 4-year-old ass jumped up on the tables and yelled to the mourners, "Stop crying, porque está con los ángeles." She's with the angels. My mother's been asking to hear the poem about my abuelita, and I've been meaning to ask her to track down those tapes she made for me. And I still wonder which one of us is going to get our wish first.